Hello and welcome to the Bonehead Championship. I'm Ben from the Bonehead Podcast, and today we've got your Round 2 Match 2 preview. So the Bonehead Championship is our mini league. We've got 6 teams who are playing across 5 rounds. Then we're going to take the top 4 and play 3 more games to determine our very first Bonehead Championship champion. So every week we will do a match preview. Now this one's a little bit later than normal. I'm very sorry. I had to do a bit of refilming, but it is here. So this Saturday we will have live our next match, and our next match is going to be the Tootworld Tiny Titans, our Snotling team, against our Wood Elf team, the Wild Hunters. Now the Wood Elves managed to win their last round, and the Snotlings managed to draw against Black Orcs. So realistically, both teams doing pretty well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at both the rosters, have a look at the coaches who are going to be playing which team, and then most importantly, have a look at our viewer championship where you guys get to guess the scores of each of the rounds, you get some points, and you get some prizes. First up, we've got the Tootworld Tiny Titans, our Snotling team. So the Snotling team, like I said, managed to draw against Black Orcs. Did a really good job. I had got to pilot them. I love Snotlings, and they did really well. There's a couple of developments in the team. The biggest one is probably that Paul and Barry have leveled up a little bit. So Barry, the Chuckham brothers, Barry Chuckham has now got Brawler. So look for Brawler Barry to do a load of good blocks. Basically, when playing through the games, the Trolls are taking the biggest blocks on this team. They're the most strength, they've got Mighty Blow, they need to absolutely maximise the chance to cause damage. So giving one of them Brawler early on means that actually a lot of those 2 die, 3 die blocks are going to become 3 dice or 4 die blocks because you get to re-roll that both down. That should mean that attacking with Barry should be more consistent now, and there's more chance to get that Mighty Blow on the go. Now against a Wood Elf team, bigger hits and bigger removal, there's only 11 players and each of the Wood Elves are really important. So if we can use Barry and his Brawler skill to take out some extra players, it's going to be pretty sweet. Now Catapult and Nosepick, our 2 Snotlings, haven't taken a level up. They've got 3 SPP, and if we can get another touchdown from them, we can start looking at taking a random general and just having a really good time with the Snotlings. Basically nothing that's going to happen there. Now the team has got a ton of cash, but what we're doing is we're keeping the team value low. So against the Wood Elves, I think we've got about 300k. And what we're going to be doing is 2 kegs, 2 bribes, and riotous rookies. We want to use riotous rookies to maintain that swarming effect. Okay, now against Wood Elves, you are just going to be able to use those extra players to cause dodges. Alright, dodges are not going to be too risky when it's 2+ everywhere because these guys have got Titchy. But what we will be able to do is use those players to get actual Snotling blocks. Okay, Wood Elves have got 2 strength 2 players. Snotlings are strength 1. That's 2 assists to start making 2 die Snotling blocks. And just having a ton of players there means we can get some cheeky fouls in, some cheeky blocks in. And when you're playing 13, 14 players against 11, when you've got another 10 lined up, it's a pretty great place to be. Both those bribes are going to mean that we can keep our bomber on if we need to, or Triple T the pump wagon as well. So I'm expecting this team to be able to cause some damage. If they can do that, then we might see the Wood Elves stack it like a house of cards. And then there's the Wild Hunters. So the Wood Elves won their first round, so they are 1-0. They got some winnings, and they spent those winnings on an Apothecary. That's going to be really important. Now, 11 players only on this Wood Elf team, and 2 of them are catchers who are strength 2, so this is not the most bash of teams. But let's face it, this is the most dash of teams. We've got 2 movement 8 war dancers there, Anglin and Lucius, no skills. We've got 2 movement 8 catchers, Whinia Lightfeet and Alethea, Freeheart, movement 8 with dodge as well. So that's 4 Edge 2+ dodging players. 2 of those guys got block. War dancers are going to be pretty great. Now, being able to make multiple dice blocks, that was easy to say, against all those Snotlings, means that we're going to be able to take an opportunity here with Wood Elves to just try and outbash our opponent, which is going to give us a bit of an edge. Now, if we can start causing some removals, that's going to be fantastic. We could just see an SPP fest for the Wood Elves, which would also be fantastic. Vulnerability here is we've got Trolls, we've got Pump Wagons, we've got Bombardiers, and they are going to have the numbers to be able to get free blocks on our Wood Elves. So we're going to have to play a bit of a screen game and kind of disengage with Snotlings. We are actually afraid of Snotlings here because they can hurt the team for the long range. Now, Glodril Okam, our thrower, took leader. So we've got 1 reroll on this team and the leader reroll. So basically doubling the opportunity to make things go right. And if we really need to, we can use both of them in 1 turn to make a really big play. Vesha Farsight is a lineman with some SPP. Maybe we'll score another touchdown and we can start looking at other skills, maybe kick or something like that. So as far as team development here, we want to see War Dancers get some stuff so that we can get some skills. But quite frankly, vanilla War Dancers in this environment, pretty great. I'd love to get tackle on one of them. I think that would be a really good safety. But as it's pro, I do love pro with leap. That's potential, actually. So the team is looking good. I like the matchup here for Wood Elves. We should be able to do some appropriately elf stuff. But there's a good chance we're going to end up with only 7 players on the pitch towards the end of it. So the coach of the week this time is going to be our friend Lewis. Good guy, Lewis. Now, Lewis won our last league and is, I believe, about to go into the playoffs for our current Blood Bowl league. Not only has he done that, but he has been on our channel many, many times. So if you want to see Lewis's coaching caliber, go back and watch some of the 7 Super Series. Any of them, actually. We've had him on several times. He is a great Blood Bowl player and a great all-rounder. Now, Lewis is going to be piloting Snotlings for the first time, so do bear that in mind. I am looking forward to playing this game against Lewis. He really knows what he's doing, and he is not afraid of taking outrageous risks. And it just seems to pay off. I mean, I can't remember what he was talking about when he was talking about this, but he basically was like, I'm going to do this. And as you can tell by my face, I was amused. So watch out for Lewis to play a solid but terrifyingly risky game. Okay, so we've had a look at the teams and we've had a look at the coaches. What do we think about the matchup? So Snotlings have got the numbers. They've really got the numbers. And they've got 3 big hitters with Mighty Blow and a couple of Bombardiers as well and a bunch of numbers to foul. Wood Elves have got that serious dash capability. Now, when you think about Wood Elves versus Snotlings, you kind of think, Wood Elves probably have the edge here. But actually, Snotlings in this edition are much better, and Wood Elves are a little bit worse. Leap got worse, and their ability to throw the ball around also got worse. So it's a much tighter game now than it would have been in, for example, the last edition, which I really love. Now, Wood Elves only having 2 rerolls as well could be tricky. Snotlings pounding through with 4 rerolls as well, and the fact they're going to have 2 kegs to be able to just bring those any knocked out guys back on a 2+ with 2 bribes so they can keep the secret weapons around as well. It means the Snotlings are going to be able to do Snotling things, and the Wood Elves are just going to have to try and outscore them and outsurvive them. If the dice roll well, Wood Elves, I think, might have the edge. If the dice roll well for removal and for casualties, and we've seen it on this channel that those dice can be very hot and very not, it's going to be really cool. Anyway, I love Wood Elves, I love Snotlings. I gave Lewis the chance to choose his team. He went with Snotlings. I was a little bit upset, but I am up for the challenge. I've run Snotlings on the channel. They were good. I was really pleased with them. Let's see what I can do with Wood Elves against them. Now, let's jump in and have a look at our viewer championship. So, after the last match, we've updated the scores, and we have got Sam O'Dwyer going back into first place, only scoring 1 point this round, but does mean that they can jump out into first place with 9 points. In second place, at 8 points, we've got Nicholas Fitzgerald and Papa Z, who may actually be called Papas, but I prefer to refer to them as Papa Z. At third place with 7 points, Ernest Cummings, David, Rolstad, Dishdash, Chris John, Gecko 8, Martin, Joaquin Solis, Trevor Craig, and Mike Cottrell. Now, there's a ton of players in here at 6 points, and even more players in there at 5 points. So, if you think about the way the points fall, it's 3 points per round. This is game 5 of 15, so there's plenty of season to play. So get your guesses in to this video for this match and score as many points as you like. If you want to know how it works, we'll jump into the rules right now. And the rules for our viewer championship are: every week we'll post up a match preview video, this one here, and inside it drop your guess of who's going to win and what each team's score is going to be. If you get the winner right, well, the outcome, if you think it's going to be a draw, you'll score a point. If you say Snotlings are going to score 2 touchdowns and they score 2 touchdowns, you'll get another point, no matter how the game plays out. So each team whose score you get correctly, you'll get a point. And if you get the overall outcome correct as well, you'll score another point. So you can get 0, 1, 2, or 3 points per game. Now, to max out on 3 points, you've got to get the score exactly right. But you know, that's the fun. We want to get predictions in by 9 a.m. UK on Saturday. That is because that's around about the time the game will go live for our Patreons. It goes live everywhere else on Sunday morning. So try and get your guesses in by 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. It means I can wrap it all up. And it means that no cheeky Patreons, thank you for supporting the show, by the way, get basically, we don't want anyone to have knowledge of the actual game before they do the guesses. That just doesn't seem fun. And what we're going to do is, as we move on into the middling of the season, we're going to start giving out prizes for where people are, but it will be a prize fest for the end of the season when all the scores come in. So we are game 5 now, so there's plenty of season to go. So get your guesses in and see if you can't score 3 points. Okay, so we've looked at the teams, we've looked at the coaches, we've looked at our viewer championship, and we've talked about the matchup. I am really excited for this game. I love Wood Elves, I love Snotlings, and I really love seeing your predictions in the comments below because it's great. Some of you go full on out and give match descriptions. I think this is going to happen, I think this is going to happen, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much for doing that. Get your guesses in below, get those points scored, and at the end of the video, we'll have the full standings of everybody who's got involved in the viewer championship. Do not hesitate to drop us a comment below if there's something squiffy with your score or you want me to double check something. That's what we do here. So thank you very much for being involved. And all that's left to do now is wait for our game to go live this weekend. So thank you very much for taking part. Thank you for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to help support the channel even further, please like and subscribe, or come join us on our Patreon. We have early access to content, we get loads of feedback from you guys, and we try and do competitions as much as we can. Or you can get yourself some Bonehead Podcast merch on our Spreadshirt site. So if you want to support a team, especially for the Bonehead Championship, you can pick up a shirt, a mug, things like that. It all helps support the channel, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, links below. Thank you very much. Happy blocking.